Hi friends, good morning, or as in my case, good evening. See, it's still dark out there. But anyways, I'm going to be coming to you with your story for today. It is called The Wretched Stone. And of course, it's written and illustrated by Chris Van Allsburg. I wanted to tell you what the word wretched means in this story so that it might help you to understand. It means poor quality, very bad. So it's a very bad stone. Okay, so that's what the word wretched means. Poor quality or very bad. So in this instance, it means very bad, the very bad stone. So here is your 2-sentence summary. The sailing crew of this ship is happy and good at their jobs until one day when they bring aboard their ship a gray rock, 2 feet across. After that, very strange things start happening to the crew. So very strange things start happening to the crew. All right, here it is, so you can get it written down. You can pause your video or take a screenshot, whatever you need to do to get that written down. Okay, so here we go. Here's the story, The Wretched Stone. This is an interesting story. It's written by like journal entries. So it's written like when you write a journal and you write like the date. So here you can see it, May 8th, May 9th. Okay, so here we are. May 8th, we finished bringing supplies aboard early this morning. At midday, we left on the tide and found a fresh breeze just outside the harbor. It is a good omen that our voyage has begun with fair winds and a clear sky. May 9th, the first mate, Mr. Howard, has brought together a fine crew. These men are not only good sailors, they are accomplished in other ways. Pay attention to how this crew is in the beginning of the story and how they get along and how talented they are. Here they are. Many read and have borrowed books from my small library. Some play musical instruments, and there are a few good storytellers among them. So during this time period, it was weird that sailors were able to read. So many of them are able to read, play musical instruments, and tell good stories. So they're a talented crew. Our passage is going well. The usual boredom that comes with many days at sea is not present on this ship. When the members of this clever crew are not on duty, I find them singing and dancing or amusing each other with tales of past adventure. So, pretty cool. Land ho! June 5th. Slightly before sunset, we spotted an island. I have consulted my charts, but do not see it recorded. This is odd, since ships have sailed through these waters for years. Apparently have all missed this small place. We are low on water and would be happy to find fresh fruit growing here. Tomorrow, I will take some men ashore and look about. Okay, so they found an island that they're going to go on shore, and it's not on any maps. So knowing what you know about Chris Van Allsburg's stories, I think we might have ourselves a mystery here. I think we might have ourselves a mystery. Take a look at the light on this island. It's kind of all yellowy, right? June 6th. I have just returned from the island. It is strange indeed. The vegetation is lush, but not a single plant bears fruit. The air has an odor that at first seems sweet and pleasant, then becomes an overpowering stink. I saw no sign of animal life, not even an insect. We found a spring that had water too bitter to drink. We also discovered something quite extraordinary, which I have brought aboard. Have you guys figured out who's telling this story? I think it's the captain of the ship. So this island has, see the vegetation? There's no water, no animals, no insects. There's something about this place that is strange. Okay, so they found something and they brought it on the ship. It's a rock, approximately 2 feet across. It is roughly textured gray in color, but a portion of it is as flat and smooth as glass. From the surface comes a glowing light that is quite beautiful and pleasing to look at. The thing is unbelievably heavy. requiring 6 strong men to lift it. With great effort, we were able to get it aboard and into the forward hold. We have set sail and are underway again. Okay, so the thing they're describing is something that you have in your daily life. Every single day, you guys see it. It's in a particular place in your house. Now, these things have changed over time. When I was little, this was a really good description of the thing. It's different for you now, but your parents might be able to figure this out. Okay, here we go. It's approximately 2 feet across, so 24 inches. It's roughly textured, gray in color, but a portion of it is flat and smooth as glass. Okay, so it's something that you have in your lives. From the surface, the flat part with the glass, a glowing light comes from it. It's quite beautiful and pleasing to look at. The thing is heavy. This is the part that's very different from what your object is in your house. The thing is unbelievably heavy, requiring 6 strong men to lift it. With great effort, we are able to get it aboard and into the forward hold. We have set sail and are underway again. So that, my friends, you just heard a description of the Wretched Stone. So here's something glowing. So that date, let's pay attention to the dates because now it starts to get interesting. That date was June 6th. So June 10th. Now remember, the ship started sailing May 8th. So we're at June 10th. The crew is fascinated by the rock. When not needed on deck, they are down below, gazing in silence at the peculiar light it gives off. I miss the music and storytelling that had become part of our ship's life. The last few days have passed quite slowly. The men, however, seem perfectly content. I am sure their interest in the stone will fade away soon. Okay, so they're not doing the singing and the dancing things that they used to. Here we are, June 13th. Something is wrong with the crew. They rarely speak, and though they swing through the rigging more quickly than ever, they walk the decks in a clumsy, stooped-over fashion. Last night, I heard shrieks coming from the forward hold. I believe they've contracted some kind of fever. They came on board with the stone. I told Mr. Howard that tomorrow I will have that thing thrown overboard. So he's not the captain. I was wrong. Or is he? Yes. This morning I awoke to find the deck deserted. The wheel was tied steady with a rope. I believe Mr. Howard, who spent some time around the rock, told the men about my plan to get rid of it. They have now locked themselves in the forward hold. They apparently believe in their feverish state that I can still sail this boat alone while they sit around that Wretched Stone. I think I made a mistake here. What did it say? I have to go back. The first mate, Mr. Howard, has brought, yes, that is the captain. Mrs. Wright. Mrs. Wright, Mrs. Wright. Okay, so it is the captain telling the story. The first mate. Okay, so the plan. Okay, so they've now, because they found out the plan is the captain wants to get rid of the stone, they have locked themselves in with the Wretched Stone. We are in grave danger. A powerful storm is headed this way. All morning long, the wind has grown steadily stronger. The sky is filled with dark clouds. I am unable to shorten the sails by myself. With this much canvas up, we will surely be blown over and sink when the full force of the storm arrives. I'm going forward again to try to get the crew to work. All of our lives depend on it. He can't get the crew up, and he desperately needs some help. Okay, you guys ready to see what the crew looks like? Look at what the Wretched Stone has turned them into. Oh my goodness gracious. Now, have you guys found Fritz? This is the hardest book yet to find Fritz. And he might be on this page. This is, I am sure, my last entry. Okay, so that was June 15th. Oh, this is still June 15th. This is, I'm sure, my last entry. What I have just seen is so horrifying. I barely have strength to write it down. After I pounded at the door to the forward hold, it finally swung open. But it was not a man who opened the door. It was an ape. The whole crew has turned into hairy beast. They just sat there grinning at that terrible rock. They don't understand a word I say. We are doomed. Oh my goodness. There's the ship. June 16th. The storm has passed. The Rita Ann is still afloat, but both masts and rudder are lost. The stone has gone dark. We were struck by lightning twice during the storm. I believe that was the cause. Unfortunately, the crew is unchanged. They are unchanged. They are still beasts, but seem sad and lost without the glowing rock. I have moved them back to their quarters. We have food for 2 weeks. I'm hopeful of a rescue. What is that stone? That glowing flat thing. Oh, here we go. I have made an encouraging discovery. I'm playing the violin and reading to the crew. It is having a positive effect. They're not staring at that wretched stone anymore. Someone is reading them books and playing the violin for them. They are walking upright and have an alert look in their eyes. I was in the forward hold today. A dull glow was coming from the stone. I have covered it and will keep the compartment locked. What's he afraid of will happen? June 28th. I'm happy to report that the men have returned to normal. Okay, so how long did it take for them to return? June 19th. Okay, so on June 24th, there was a glow coming from it. So he was like, June 28th. So it took 9 days for them to come back to normal. I'm happy to report that the men have returned to normal. It seems that those who know how to read recovered most quickly. There's got to be a connection there with reading, right? So on your questions, it says, what does this mysterious wretched stone represent? So what is this wretched stone? What do you think the author calls it a wretched stone? Remember, wretched means poor quality, very bad. What message is he sending his readers? What message is Chris Van Allsburg sending to you guys here when he says, it seems that those who knew how to read have covered most quickly? We are June 30th. We are saved. A ship has spotted off our starboard side. I've decided to scuttle the Rita Ann. There is only one place for the wretched stone before we abandon ship. I will set a fire that will send this vessel and her cargo to the bottom of the sea. Whoa. July 12th. Our rescuers have left us in the harbor town of Santa Pongo. One by one, the crew should be able to sign onto ships passing through and work their way home. We have made an agreement not to talk about the strange events that took place aboard the Rita Ann. The men appear to have recovered completely, though some have shown an unnatural appetite for the fruit that is available here. What is the fruit that's available? And what were these characters? All right, and he always leaves us on a cliffhanger. Okay, so what does this mysterious wretched stone represent? Remember, it's 2 feet, so 2 feet, 2 feet, 2 feet. It's gray, it's flat, and it has a glass kind of thing in the center. I wonder if you guys have figured it out. Don't worry if you don't know. We'll talk about it in our meeting. Why does the author, you can figure this one out though. Why does the author call it a wretched stone? What message is he sending his readers? So what is Chris Van Allsburg? What's his message here? What's he trying to tell us? Okay. All right. Don't worry if you're not sure. We'll get it. We'll talk about it. All right, guys. See you in a little bit.